In this video I will show you my complete loop equipment. Welcome to How to Loop part number 11. It's been a while since the release of my last video. In the meantime, I got a lot of questions from you regarding my loop equipment. Therefore, I will show you all the devices of my rig and how it's all connected. So there will be no guitar playing today, sorry for that. But there will be a lot of hopefully interesting information for you. To give it a start, I will grab my smartphone and give you an overview over my rig from my perspective. On the left hand side, you see the TC Helicon Voice Live 3. This is my vocal processor for all the effects and the vocal harmonies. In the center of the setup, we have the Helix guitar processor. I use it for the amp simulation, all my guitar effects, and for making a bass guitar out of my normal guitar. In front of it there is the RC300 Loopstation, which is kind of the heart of all the setup here. Moving further to the right, I have a tablet PC with lyrics to have a look while I sing, and I can switch it over to the mixer console so I can change the settings of my mixer. Further to the right there is the HandSonic from Roland, which is my electronic drum kit. And below the HandSonic I have the mic for the loop vocals. On the floor, the yellow box is my giant mute switch for, different things. And down there on the right hand side there is the mixing console, which is a Behringer XR 16, and the blue box on top of it is the amplifier for my in-ear monitoring system. That's basically it. When you draw all the connections, it looks something like this. Complicated? Perhaps. But let's walk through step by step. On the first slide, you see a very simple setup. It just consists of the guitar, the Helix processor, the Loopstation, and the mixing console. The guitar is connected to the input of the Helix, and the output of the Helix goes to the input of the Loopstation. From the Helix to the Loopstation, I take two cables, one for left and one for right, because I like to have the stereo signal in the Loopstation. I like having big delays and reverbs. The output of the Loopstation is connected to the inputs of the mixer. Here I need to use two cables too, because I like to keep the signal in stereo. Inside the mixing console you see the connections to the main outs, which is usually the speakers, could also be some sort of DAW or USB recording device. Please note the black dots. The black dots show where the inputs are connected to the outputs. In this case, the left input is connected to the lower output, and the right input is connected to the upper output. In the next slide, we extend the setup a little bit. Now we want to have a vocal microphone which does not go to the Loopstation at all. So I introduce the Voice Live 3 into the setup. Now I need to run the guitar through the Voice Live, because the Voice Live needs the guitar signal to calculate the vocal harmonies. I run my microphone with one cable to the Voice Live 3, and the output of the Voice Live 3 with two cables into the mixing console. I like to use two cables, same reason. I have stereo effects there and I want to keep them in stereo. The connections inside the mixing console are the same as they were for the RC300. You see the black dots, one is connected to the left speaker, one is connected to the right speaker. Then I have to make sure that the settings of the Voice Live 3 are in a way that the output, the yellow one here, only sends the voice signal, not the guitar signal, because the guitar signal shall run the same way as it did in the setup before. Now we can go one step further. In the next slide, I add the sub-out from the RC300. Now I want to use the rhythm function of the RC300 as a metronome, as I showed you in, I think it was video number 6. So I connect the sub out of the RC300 with an input of my mixing console. And I do a second thing. I want to have a monitoring now. So I take another two outputs of my mixing console, which is aux1 and aux2. And as you can see there, I connect the yellow path to my monitor, right and left. I connect the red path, right and left, to my monitors. And I connect the sub-out signal with a rhythm to my monitors. But I do not connect the monitors to the main out speaker left and right. That just means that the signal that comes from the sub-out of the RC300 is only hearable in my in-ears, not in the main outs. The changes and things I have to do in the RC300 are explained in video number 6. Please check out that video. Now, to go one step forward, I would like to have a loop microphone. Now I just could connect the microphone to the Loopstation because it has a microphone in. But to me that was not the way, because I like to use some effects on the microphone, like a big reverb, some delay, a limiter, a compression, and all this stuff. So what I do is I connect my microphone to the mixing console. And now I introduce a second pair of outputs, which are aux3 and 4. I connect the microphone to both of them, 3 and 4, and not to the main out and not to the monitor. I run this line back to the RC300 and connect it with the aux1 and 2 inputs there. So the microphone goes from the phone into the mixer, from the mixer into the Loopstation, and the signal runs from the Loopstation on the red path back into the mixer. This is the way I can hear my microphone in the in-ear monitors and on the main out speakers. So making it this way, I have all the effects of my mixing console for my microphone. Now there is one last thing missing in my audio chain. This is the Roland HandSonic drum set. So I connect the Roland HandSonic the same way I did it with a microphone. But I do it in stereo because there are quite funny effects in stereo from the HandSonic. As you can see on the slide here, the HandSonic goes into the mixing console, and one channel is connected to aux3 and one is connected to aux4, which just means that the signal that comes from the HandSonic goes in stereo into the RC300. From there, from the RC300, the signal runs the red path into the mixing console, and so I can hear it and it goes to the main outs. What you can see here is that the guitar, the loop microphone and the HandSonic come over the red path into my mixing console. So I have no chance to mix them individually once they are through the Loopstation. That's as it is. You just need to know that it's like this. So that's basically how it's all connected. Does this make sense to you? I hope so. And as you can see, it's not so complicated at all. One remark though, this setup is a result of years of trial and error. Right now, this is what works for me. But it can be a different story for you. So just keep on trying. That's it for today. Thanks a lot for watching, and please keep on asking questions. The next video will be about using MIDI and about patch management. So keep on looping, and bye bye.